A very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu editorial analysis for proficiency in English. Let us start with the first snippet. The first snippet, what does it say? Here you can see the Prime Minister mocking religion. Modi slams foreign powers on MP visit. Mocking we have got many a time. What does it mean? Looking down upon someone, ridiculing someone, laughing at someone. Mock means to ridicule someone, to look down upon, like someone has done something funny or not acceptable. Then we say, we mock at that person. Here, mocking religion means what? Ridiculing religion. That is not acceptable. Based on that, the Prime Minister slams. Slam we have got many a time. What does it mean? To criticize severely, one meaning, and also it means to use a force while closing something. And generally, I give the example, don't slam the door. When someone is very angry, he or she tries to slam the door, that also you have to know. But in this context, it means to criticize severely. On MP visit, otherwise nothing to learn. Here we have, many of you must have watched last night's lambast, you can say. You must have watched last night's match, and India won the match against Pakistan, and everyone was thrilled at the fag end of the match. No doubt people wanted to win India against Pakistan, but it was all about whether Kohli would make century or not. And finally, he could make it, and it was really a scintillating performance. King of chasers, Kohli on song as India cases eases past Pakistan. There are one idiomatic expression, on song. Kohli on song, what does it mean? It means to perform well, to do well. He performed extremely well, unbeaten, and without any lives as such, on song. As India eases past, here we can also say go past. Go past Pakistan, eases past Pakistan. What does it mean? Win against Pakistan. This is an important expression you have to know. What is the next snippet we have here? Ahmedabad session, AICC to deliberate on future roadmap. There are two important words. One is deliberate. Deliberate has two different meanings. Deliberation, deliberately. Especially as an adverb, deliberately has a negative connotation. What does it mean? It means to do something openly, without any shame, and intentionally. Brazenly we use without any shame, but deliberately means intentionally, openly, without any hesitation. Deliberately. But here, deliberate, also the noun form deliberations, a different meaning altogether, means to discuss deeply. Here, deliberate means to discuss deeply, a positive connotation that you have to know. And roadmap, you're all young and you're preparing for competitive exams, you have a lofty goal. What is that? To acquire a government job. And when you have lofty goals, obviously you have to strive for that. You have to put in a lot of effort. You have to work very hard. But before you do that, before you're prepared to give your best, you should have a roadmap. You should have the blueprint. So what exactly does it mean? It means the strategy, the plan to achieve success. So based on here, AICC to deliberate, discuss deeply on future roadmap, means how to go about in the future regarding its the party, the Congress party, how to go about across the country. Deep discussions, we use the word deliberations, an important word you have to know. The next one, usually I tell you guys, whatever red background, white letters, something very important, you got to look at it meticulously. Data point, the very first word, data. Try to respond which part of speech is it. Data, thank you very much. Naidu Paidi, my pleasure too. And data is a plural form. Datum singular, data plural. But data can also be used as a collective noun. Based on that, data can take a plural verb. Data as a collective noun takes a singular verb. So next time you see data is, data are, don't get confused. It depends on the writer's perspective. Data point, economic woes. Woes means problems, severe problems. We use this word. Economic problems of conflict hit Manipur. This article goes with Manipur. Manipur has been in the limelight, not right recent past, but last year it was in the limelight, not for good reasons, but for bad reasons. And based on that, today it is in doldrums. It has its own problems. Based on that, economic woes of conflict hit Manipur. Inflation surges, GST growth rate declines. Again, two words which are quite familiar, we have got many a time. One, surge. Surge has got two different meanings. One meaning sudden forward movement. A lot of people, sudden forward movement that may result in stampede. One meaning. Another meaning, sudden increase. For that, we also use the word spike. And decline means to go down. And I usually give the combinations: declining numbers, declining quality, declining standards. All these combinations you have to know. You should also recollect the words like hike, escalate. Who is that? Naidu. Yes, very good. Now let us go to today's main headline. What is the headline about? Today's headline, it is here: a rescue team yet to contact workers trapped in tunnel. You can see the pic also, the tunnel, and a few workers. This happened in Telangana state, Telugu state. A few workers got trapped in the tunnel. And regarding that, an unfortunate incident regarding that, rescue team yet to contact. I always tell students the word yet is an important word. Here, yet to contact, standard expression. Yet to do, yet to complete, yet to contact, yet to come. And complete sentence, if you use with the word yet, do remember we have to use present perfect tense, and the word yet should be at the end of the sentence. For example, the train hasn't come yet. The rescue team hasn't come yet. The word yet should be at the end of the sentence, and the word yet goes with negative and negative interrogative sentences. Negative interrogative sentences. Yet to contact, workers are trapped in tunnel. A few workers got trapped in tunnel, and based on that, this has to be. One more snippet, I will do it, don't worry. I think you're talking about this one, am I right? Or on top, we have first one, second one, third one. On top, oh, you're talking about this one. Two more are there. This is the last one. Perhaps you're talking about this one, Chandu Nayak. What is this? Hezbollah mounds. There is one word I'm sure all of you know. When someone passes away, we mourn, means we express our grief and we become grief stricken. It talks about that. Thousands pour in for Nasrullah's funeral. And you have to recollect the combination funeral rites, RITES. And here, pay tribute, very good, Anand, I appreciate that. And here we have thousands. Thousand can be a noun, can be an adjective. Like dozen can be a noun, can be an adjective. When we say she has given 10 dozens mangoes wrong, 10 dozen, there it is an adjective. But dozens of mangoes, then it is a noun, thousands of people. 10,000 people wrong, 10,000 people. But thousands of people, here it is a noun. Thousands pour in. I'm sure all of you know the word pour goes with liquid water, but here pour in means a lot of people turn up. Turn up means to appear. You have to recollect other phrasal verbs like turn up, show up, all these you have to recollect, and pour in for Nasrullah's funeral. Now let us go to this another headline, a snippet over here. Headline I have done, snippet: Russia launches its largest drone strike on Ukraine. Only one word, easy to understand. All the words are quite familiar. Turn out, turn up, show up. You should recollect all these. Turnout and turnout goes more with a large number of people appearing for an event like funeral, some function, elections. But turn up and show up, they go with the individual. Imagine I was expecting a friend of mine last evening. he did not come last evening, then what do I say? He did not show up, he did not turn up. A subtle difference in the meaning. Russia launches its largest drone strike on Ukraine. It's possessive pronoun. You should recollect the rule. Possessive pronouns never take an apostrophe. People do use that's a common error, especially letter writing, yours truly. That is not correct. And if you make that mistake, descriptive English, you lose 2 marks straight away. We have another headline over here. Trump attacks USAID on India grant amid doubts over allegation by DOGE. We have got this word many a time, amid. You should also recollect amidst. What do they mean? In the middle of. In the middle of something. Yes, Murli, exactly. Over allegation. Allegation, allege, accuse. Noun forms allegation, accusation. Blame someone, say someone has done something wrong without evidence. Then we use this. By DOGE, Department of Government Excellence, constituted recently by the US President. Today's editorial is about that. We have another snippet over here. Atishi is leader of opposition in Delhi Assembly. Former chief minister for a short period, short stint, but now she has become the opposition leader in Delhi Assembly. We have another pic over here. You can see thousands of people. What is this about? Surging crowds. Crowds moving forward, sudden forward movement of group of people, surge. Throng also you can say. Very good. Naidu. Surging crowds, thousands of people. What is the occasion? To the confluence. The word confluence means a meeting point. 3 rivers meet at one point, then we say confluence. To the confluence, crowd near the Sangam in Prayagraj on Sunday as pilgrims rush to take a dip during the Mahakumbh. Pilgrims rush to. Pilgrim, an individual. Joseph, that time that's what happens. And one person, pilgrim, pilgrims, plural form. But imagine someone takes a 10-day break, goes on visiting different holy places. That is known as pilgrimage. That word also you have to recollect. Yes, Murli, very good. We have another snippet here. Elderly Kerala couple killed in elephant attack. These things do happen in Kerala. Western Ghats, known for rainforests, rich in wildlife, especially tuskers. Because of that, elephants are part of Kerala culture. They are used in festivals, integral part of festivals in Kerala. Unfortunately, they also attack on and off. Stray incidents, though. Stray means a scattered, sporadic, not regular, but they are really fatal. They are dangerous. Elderly couple got trampled. Here you have to recollect the word trample. Attack killed a couple, husband and wife. Very unfortunate. Let us go to another news headline that goes with political news, international. What is it? CDU's Merz said to be German Chancellor. AFD makes big gains. It is about international news and related to politics, related to elections in Germany. Demographic dividend means, why has it been used anywhere? Little stars. I always tell students, you ask anything what you see here, I'll be happy to answer. But at random, from somewhere you bring questions, I won't be able to, because to touch whatever is here, we don't get enough time. If I try to answer random questions, then we go off the track, the purpose is defeated. But I don't know why, have you seen it somewhere here? Please respond. If you say yes, I will answer. Let us go to today's editorial. This is about US aid. US aid regarding that has become controversial and politically controversial. Okay, then I will tell you what is this demographic dividend. Demography goes with population. And today, if you take any country that has a lot of youngsters, it has an advantage. And around the world today, present scenario, India has maximum number of youngsters, youth. and that is known as demographic dividend. Dividend means something like something you have as a gift or something positive you possess. And what is that? To have a lot of youngsters, because they are the people who can contribute towards the development of the country. We have a lot of youngsters. Then we use the expression demographic. India has a demographic dividend. As usual, you improve all these things. Let us go to today. We have got a few words I have brought about. Yes, today I have brought about 6 or 7 important words from today's editorial. There's something to learn. What is the very first word? Taint. An important word. Part of speech, adjective. It can also be a verb. It's a regular verb. Taint, tainted, tainted. Meaning contaminated, corrupted, affected negatively. Generally, it goes with someone's reputation, someone's image. Then we say his image has been tainted. His reputation has been tainted. Means damaged. Example, see here, the politician's reputation was tainted by allegations of corruption. Imagine there's a politician who is not controversial, but suddenly allegations, he has a good reputation, then obviously his image gets tarnished. You should also recollect the word tarnish, tainted. Taint, tainted, tainting. Word combinations, tainted reputation, tainted evidence, tainted food. But in my opinion, generally we don't use these combinations. Tainted reputation, tainted image, we do use. Word usage used in negative context to indicate impurity or corruption. 2 dimensions. When we say tainted food, it goes with impurity, but corruption also you can consider. Synonyms: contaminated, corrupted, polluted, sullied, an important word. Antonyms: pure, unblemished, an important word. Pristine, an important word. This is what I tell you guys. See, every day I bring a lot of synonyms, a lot of antonyms, and many of these are quite familiar already. They are part of your personality, in the sense active vocabulary. But here and there we come across new words. Those words you have to focus on. After the session, you have to spend time on those words. Here we have sullied, unblemished, pristine. When you take the word blemish, I give 2 examples. Blemish means a spot. Usually we say blemishless. Blemishless means no spots, no negative aspects. There are 2 combinations. One combination, blemishless character, blemishless skin. Means you can also say impeccable. Very good. Adulterate means to make impure, Madhavi. Adulteration of food, make something impure. Pristine, pure, opposite, adulterate. Perhaps that's what you try to convey. I appreciate that. Rhetoric, we have got infallible, impeccable. No one is infallible in this world. I tell students, no one is infallible in this world. What does it mean? No one is perfect in this world. Everyone makes mistakes, but it's a question of how many. That is a $1 million question. Rhetoric goes with politics, public speaking, part of speech, noun, the art of persuasive speaking or writing. It goes with political leaders. They try to convince the masses with the speech. Then we use a rhetoric. And they use the same expressions repeatedly. When same expressions are used repeatedly, then we use the word cliche. Cliche, rhetoric. Cliche is also an important word. Often with exaggerated or insincere language. Exaggeration, magnify. Insincere, not honest. Look at the example. As I said, this goes with public speaking, political leaders. The leader's speech was full of empty rhetoric, but lacked real solutions. Full of empty rhetoric, but lacked real solutions. Articulate speaker, you can recollect. Very good. Word forms: adjective, rhetorical, adverb, rhetorically. Word combinations: political rhetoric, persuasive rhetoric, empty rhetoric. Word usage often used to describe exaggerated, insincere, or manipulative speech. Manipulation, that is also an important word one should remember. Synonyms, oratory. Oratory has a positive connotation. Once it was considered the number one skill, oratory, public speaking. Bombast, discourse, grandiloquence, an important word. Discourse, already we have got many a time. Plain speech, draw a long bow, exaggerate. Oh, very good. Let us go to the next word. Unhinge. Hinge has many meanings. It's a medical term and it is like holding something. But here we have a different meaning altogether. I was taken aback when I saw the meaning. Unhinge. Part of speech adjective. Mentally unstable or extremely disturbed. Have you heard of this any time? Please respond. Yes, Likita, hinge on. Hinge, positive connotation. But here, unhinge, a different meaning altogether. It's a new word we have got for the first time, and meaning also does not go with this actual meaning of the word hinge. His unhinged behavior worried his colleagues, means someone was mentally disturbed. When you see mentally disturbed, mentally unstable, you should recollect, you should think of euphemism. What is euphemism? To say something harsh in a nice way. And you should recollect asylum. Asylum has two meanings. One meaning shelter, another meaning a place for lunatics. And here we say mental hospital. That is not, that sounds very harsh. Asylum sounds better. Word forms, verb unhinge, word only one form. And word combinations, unhinged mind. Here it has been used a behavior, a reaction, completely unhinged means completely losing balance. Word usage used to describe someone who is mentally disturbed or irrational. This is an important word, deranged, crazy, unstable, irrational. Antonyms, sane. When we see sane, we should recollect insane, an insane behavior, an insane person. Sane person, insane person. Important word. Deranged also important. Other words are simple. But when you see the word composed, compose has many meanings. What is it composed of? Means material. We are talking about what material it is made of. But composed also means balanced, poised, composed, stoic. These words you should know, you should recollect. Always a composed behavior, means balanced, poised, stoic. Those words are important. Cacophony. Cacophony actually goes with music, but it also goes with a disturbed situation, a chaotic situation. Part of speech noun meaning, a harsh, discordant mixture of sounds, as it goes with music. The cacophony of car horns made it impossible to concentrate. When you get stuck in the traffic, a lot of people honk the horn, and then it is like cacophony. Word forms adjective, cacophonous, and cacophony noun. Word combinations, cacophony of voices, sounds, urban cacophony. When you see the word urban, you have to recollect urban, urbane. What is the difference between the two? Don't tell me the spelling is different. Urban means what? You all know urban, rural. But my question, urban means what? Ah, very good, Naidu. Sophisticated, polished, refined, urbane, civilized. All these words you should know for sure. Word usage used to describe loud, unpleasant, or jarring sounds. This is also an important word. Discord. The moment you guys see the word discord, I'm sure you recollect the two idioms, bone of contention and apple of discord. Noise, clamor. American spelling, this is American spelling, British spelling, OUR. Racket. Harmony, melody, peace, silence. Insinuation, this is an important word. Bank exams usually we come across this sort of a word. You can expect in the exam. Insinuation, part of speech, noun, meaning. An indirect or subtle suggestion, often negative. Insinuation is like, very good, with pick also. Insinuation, negative connotation. Suggestion, rather negative. Indirect hint, negative. Example, her insinuation that he was dishonest offended him. Indirectly telling someone is dishonest, obviously that person gets hurt. Word forms, verb, insinuate, adjective, insinuative, and insinuation, noun form. Word combinations, veiled insinuation, subtle insinuation, malicious insinuation. Word usage often used in context where someone is making a sly or indirect accusation. As I said, it has a negative connotation based on that. Sly also an important word. Hint, implication, suggestion, innuendo, an important word. See, these, you have to focus on these words after the session. Antonyms, direct statement, clarity, openness, forthrightness. Those are simple words. Yes. Sin, negative. Who is that? Likhita. Good. Sabotage. How do you pronounce this? Sabotage, an important word. Part of speech can be a noun, can be a verb. Meaning, deliberate destruction or disruption of something to hinder progress. Imagine the government comes up with a project and someone tries to spoil that. Then we use the word they are trying to sabotage the project. Sabotage. Example, the workers were accused of sabotage after the machinery malfunction. See? Sentence says the workers have done intentionally and they try to stop the progress based on that, the word sabotage. And subversion also can be used. Dissuade has a different meaning altogether. Madhavi. Persuade means to convince someone to do something. Dissuade, convince someone not to do something. Opposite in a way. And sabotage, verb, saboteur, we don't use in this sense noun form, but you have to focus on this word from spelling point of view. You may get under misspelled words. Word combinations, political sabotage, industrial sabotage, deliberate sabotage. Word usage used in context of intentional destruction, whether in politics, work, or warfare. Usually it goes with politics, it goes with workplace, it goes with war. Plummet means to go down suddenly. Synonyms, undermine, disrupt, damage, subvert. These two words you should remember. Antonyms, support, assist, strengthen, protect. That's all about editorial vocabulary. Now let us go to today's editorial. How does it start? Foreign influence. I said today's editorial is all about the US aid and it has become highly controversial. What is the main idea? India's response to tainted aid. This US aid has got tainted because the purpose, usually a particular country provides aid to some other country with a good intention to do something good. But this one deals with something bad based on that tainted aid must be rooted in policy, not rhetoric. Today, Donald Trump has accused US regarding US aid, and based on that, this has come into the limelight. And how Indian politicians reacted, what was the response? Based on that, this editorial and a stand taken by the editorial. What does the editorial say? Indian politicians, what should be their response? Their response should be on the focus should be on policy, not on rhetoric. Already that aid has become tainted. It has acquired a negative dimension. And based on the response, the focus should be rooted in policy matters, how to deal with foreign aid. They should focus on policy, not on rhetoric. What is the rhetoric here? both the national level parties, the BJP and the Congress, blaming each other. That's what they have been doing. Editorial says they should not do that, they should focus on the policy. How does it start? The controversy over US aid's presence in India reflects an increasingly unhinged public discourse undermining the nation's confidence and global standing. Public discourse means what? I usually give the combination religious discourse, discussion, public discourse based on this US aid, and increasingly unhinged means lost balance, undermining the nation's confidence and global standing, weakening the nation's confidence and global standing. India's image also takes a beating, obviously. The BJP and the Congress. Here, if you look at the grammar part, every sentence, the first sentence, it is in present tense. The subject is the controversy reflects. Controversy over what? Over US aid's presence in India. That is a phrase. But the controversy reflects something, present tense. An increasingly unhinged public discourse undermining the nation's confidence and global standing. When you see the BJP, the Congress, you should recollect the rule that goes with articles. What is that rule? Before any political party, we should use a definite article, the. The BJP and the Congress have been engaged. Answer my question, which tense is that? Have been engaged. They have engaged in something. Present perfect, very good. In a political tug of war. Political tug of war. Have you heard of this expression? Tug of war. Tug of war means two, usually it goes with a rope. Imagine this is a rope. One side, some people hold 5 or 6, the other side also 5 or 6. They try to pull, showing their power. And literally that's a sport. Outdoor game, tug of war. But here it is like facing each other, fighting against each other, with each other, to corner each other. The BJP and the Congress have been engaged in a political tug of war, attempting to corner each other over US aid funded projects and foreign connections. What is the bone of contention here? What is the apple of discord here? US aid. And based on that, the two political parties, major political parties, they have been trying to corner each other. When you see the expression each other, you should recollect, think of pronouns. We have different types of pronouns. Here we have reciprocal pronoun. When you take reciprocal pronouns, there are two in number, each other, one another. Each other we use when we talk about two persons or two things, and one another more than two. Yes, reciprocal pronouns. You may wonder, some students may think, sir, they ask me, sir, do we have to remember the type of pronoun? My answer, yes. What is the reason? 18 and 19, they gave questions, typical question. They gave a sentence with a particular pronoun in bold or underlined. Below that, the underlined word is a pronoun. Which type of pronoun is it? Then options: personal pronoun, distributive pronoun, indefinite pronoun, reciprocal pronoun. If you don't remember, you cannot answer that question. However, much of this cacophony means noisy thing, disturbance or discord that passes for debate is fueled by misinformation and misinterpretation. All this why? It is based on misinformation, misinterpretation, often drawing from insinuations made by the Trump administration. Who made the insinuations? Trump administration, which views international aid as a waste of American resources. Donald Trump has taken a stand, DOGE also taken a stand. They feel aid to foreign nations is actually the taxpayers of the US, Americans, they pay the tax. Their money is going out of the country. and not for a good cause, and it is sheer waste. They feel that way. It is a stand taken by Donald Trump and the officials of DOGE. Views international aid as a waste of American resources, American taxpayers' money. While the US may have its reasons to reassess its aid priorities, it is regrettable. New administration, new president, obviously they try to review many policies, and some they try to stick to, adhere to, some they try to change, they may criticize. That is quite natural. First part talks about that. While the US may have its own reasons or its reasons to reassess its aid priorities, it is regrettable that India's major political parties are echoing these arguments without a nuanced understanding. Nuanced, we have got many a time. Nuance means what? Subtle. Without understanding the subtle understanding, the subtle meaning, the subtle interpretation, the subtle connotation, they are trying to get into arguments. US aid has long supported projects in India, including those in partnership with the government. US aid has been in India for quite some time, not only in India, in other countries as well, and never been controversial. In the absence of verifiable data, in the absence of verifiable data on the extent and impact of these initiatives, discussions are bound to be ill-informed and prejudiced. Entire editorial says Trump has said something based on his statement. Here, politicians are fighting, arguing. Based on that, what the editorial says, instead of doing that, because we don't know whether it is true or not true, in the absence of verifiable data, we have to first verify before we get into any argument. In the absence of verifiable data on the extent and impact of these initiatives, discussions are bound to be ill-informed and prejudiced. There is no verifiable data based on assumptions we try to argue, then those arguments are bound to be ill-informed and also full of prejudice or bias. In a globalized world where countries compete for capital, technology, and talent from across borders, today it's a globalized world, and many countries have bilateral ties, and many countries compete for important resources like capital, technology, and talent from across borders. Branding political opponents as foreign agents may be an easy propaganda tactic, but poisons the domestic political environment and weakens India's aspirations to emerge as a global power. The party in power, incumbent government, says the opponents are very strong words. They are what? Foreign agents. This will definitely disturb the domestic political scenario. Too strong a word to be used. And based on that, branding political opponents as foreign agents may be an easy propaganda tactic. It is useful as a propaganda tactic, but it disturbs. The impact is going to be negative. But poisons the domestic political environment and weakens India's aspirations to emerge as a global power. It is true that foreign aid can be a tool of soft power. War is hard, but foreign aid and manipulating the government, soft power, often used by stronger nations to extend influence over domestic affairs of other countries. Usually it happens. There's a rich country, it provides aid to a poor country. Obviously, it tries to meddle with the domestic affairs of that country. It tries to influence. That is inevitable. However, recognizing this reality requires a responsible and measured approach. This is a reality no one can deny. But what should be the response? Requires responsible and measured approach and not an overreaction that borders on self-sabotage. In this process, we are spoiling the image of the country based on that self-sabotage. India itself has evolved into an aid provider, a role it seeks to expand. Today, India takes aid from other countries. At the same time, it has become an aid provider to more than 50 countries. I don't know how many of you know that. According to an ORF analysis since 2000, the Ministry of External Affairs has overseen financial assistance exceeding 48 billion US dollars to over 65 countries. This is really surprising. India, no doubt, it takes aid from other countries, developed countries, but here India has become an aid provider and it has provided 48 billion US dollars to more than 65 countries, over 65 countries. How? Through grants, lines of credit, and capacity building programs. This growing role as a donor nation has coincided with stricter regulations on foreign contributions within India. Growing role as what? Donor nation has coincided with. As I said, there are two things. India takes funds from outside, India gives funds to other countries. And there is some sort of coincidence. What is that? When it comes to taking funds from other countries, of late the rules have become very strict, with stricter regulations on foreign contributions within India. There is contrasting information. However, these regulations have been heavily politicized. Entities aligned with the ruling establishment often face fewer hurdles. This is an important expression. No doubt, the rules and regulations to receive foreign aid have become strict. But there's something controversial here also. What is that? And usually, in this context, I would like to use NGOs. Imagine there's one NGO, it is affiliated to the ruling party, then the rules are not, they face fewer hurdles. But if the NGO belongs to the opposition, in a way, they have to face very strict, they have to go through the rules, strict rules. While others, even those engaged in purely apolitical activities, encounter significant restrictions. This always happens, it is understood. The American debate over US aid's role in India does raise concerns about foreign influence, but any response must be rooted in clear headed policy rather than reactionary rhetoric. Main idea is being reiterated. US aid is going to make influence, it must have made influence, but the reaction should be based on the policy, not based on rhetoric. If the government genuinely suspects foreign funding is shaping India's political landscape, imagine government suspects foreign aid is shaping India's political landscape in undesirable ways. It must approach the issue with transparency and a well defined plan for investigation. Some sort of apprehension regarding the impact of foreign aid changing the political landscape in an undesirable manner. What should be the response of the government? The government should go into something like investigation. It should have a plan for investigation, well defined plan for investigation. And that investigation should be it should be transparent, and they have to resort to transparency. Managing national security in an era of increasing global interconnectedness and transnational challenges is a complex task. Managing national security is a complex task because today everything is open, interconnectedness is there. One that requires a mature strategic outlook rather than a chaotic, polarized public discourse. Opposite words have been used. Mature strategic approach is desirable. On the other hand, a chaotic, polarized public discourse is not desirable, not acceptable. That's all about today's editorial. You should read once or twice to understand this editorial. At the outset, it looks a little complicated, but when you read meticulously, it should not be a problem to understand. Try to answer these questions. What is the primary reason for the controversy surrounding US aid in India, as mentioned in the editorial? Allegations of corruption within US aid, political parties using foreign aid as a tool to attack each other. Answer should be B is the answer. Or you could consider fourth one also. But primary reason, controversy. I think primary reason should be, look at the question carefully. What is the primary reason for the controversy surrounding US aid in India as mentioned in the editorial? It is not the first one, can be the second one. Political parties using foreign aid as a tool to attack each other. Withdrawal, no. US aid's interference in India's internal politics. This is the issue. Based on this, the B comes into picture. But what is the controversy as such? It is foreign aid is trying to change the political landscape in an undesirable manner. That is a controversy. And based on this, the reaction. First the controversy, then reaction. Answer should be D, not B. According to the editorial, how much financial assistance has India provided to other countries since 2000? Second one, 48 billion US dollars. C is the answer. How has India's regulatory stance on foreign contributions changed in recent years? In recent years, rules and regulations related to receiving foreign aid, they have changed. How? It has become more lenient? No. It has become stricter, but enforcement appears politically motivated. Those who are affiliated to the ruling party, fewer rules, others, stricter rules. B is the answer. What can be inferred about the impact of misinformation in India's political debates? Strengthens democracy? No. No. It fuels public confusion and creates a toxic political environment, harmful political environment. Which of the following is the most suitable alternative title for the editorial? What could be an alternative title to this editorial? Managing foreign influence, a policy-driven approach needed. This is the main idea presented by the editorial. Should not resort to argument, should be focused on transparent policy is required. Policy-driven approach. Policy-driven transparency is also important. What is the tone of the editorial? Aggressive and alarmist? No. Neutral? No. And optimistic? No. Critical yet balanced. Critical yet balanced. That's all for today. Today I could not bring the mini mock. Tomorrow, based on this editorial, I'll be bringing tomorrow because Saturday I could not take the editorial. That's all for today. I hope you guys have got enriched. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.